Hello, hi there, Tauruses. I do hope that you are gorgeous and well. Welcome to my channel. My name is Bella, and most people know me as Bella the Secret Psychic, and this is your love horoscope for February 2019. I've been finding it very interesting this month, and I always find it very interesting when I do these readings every month because there seems to be some common themes that sometimes run between all star signs. Last month it was very much about independence, and this month the one thing that seems to crop up in at least 3 or 4 of the signs that I've done is around some people coming back into our lives, but in a very kind of unexpected, probably more dramatic way, only because it's been a really, really long time. And I think it was Aries where actually theirs wasn't necessarily to do with love, it was to do with something else, but yours is to do with love. And they're reminding me about something I watched once. Actually, one of my Taurus students posted it in our group, which was about a story, real life story, about a woman artist who had a relationship with a man who they broke up like 25 years ago after a very passionate but difficult relationship. And when they ended their relationship, they ended it on the Great Wall of China, and they just went their separate ways and never to see each other again, because they just agreed that the relationship, as passionate as it was, just needed to come apart because it wasn't good. You know, it's that old saying, you can love somebody, but it doesn't mean you'll be good together. And so they separated. And then one day she was holding an art festival. You can Google this on YouTube. I think Google, artist sees ex-lover after 30 years. But she's doing this artistic piece where she's sitting in a room and people just come and sit in front of her because she was the actual piece of art. And she just stare into each other's eyes. It was around like human connection, human contact. And anyway, he decided, because he heard about this, that he'd show up after all this time. And they filmed that moment, and it's so powerful. Like, it's just powerful. If I find the link, I'll link it in the box so that you can go and have a look at it. So I need to remember, Tauruses, to do that. If not, remind me and I'll put it in. And I tell you that story because firstly my guides are bringing it up, but there seems for some of you Taurus, that's somebody's coming back in your life after a long time, like that story that has a powerful connection. I'll firstly want to say, if you're a Taurus who has a twin flame connection, that could be part of one of the things that happens. If not, by the by, then this is somebody that you haven't seen since your childhood. I'm talking years. So if you're a rather young Taurian, this may not entirely apply to you, but for where it does, it has meaning, this person turning up, and you're not to ignore it. It is a second chance at something actually rather beautiful. All right. And with that being said, for those Tauruses where that happens in this month, please grab it with both hands. Like, it's coming across as so meant to be in a wonderful way. Like, that's the first message I want to give. Now, for everybody else where that doesn't happen for one reason or another, because you're a younger Taurus, or perhaps you never had that kind of powerful connection with somebody that was years ago, like 10 years more or plus. Interesting, because they're saying here, some of you feel really stuck in a relationship, or maybe stuck being single, but you feel very, very stuck. But you're not as stuck as you think, because there is an offering coming from somebody who, they have a really weird way of doing it, because it's like a robot. It's almost like they know they've got to give you something more, but and they recognize it, they see it in your eyes, they see it in how you are, they can see that they are slightly maybe killing your soul a little bit in the way that they're interacting with you. And so they decide that they should do something more, because they should do something more. There's a recognition that they are being less than. And also, Tauruses, this could be you doing this, so bear that in mind, but it does feel like this is happening to you. And so then, in the second week, they seem to offer you something which is music to your ears, but it's just that they deliver it in a really weird way that you may question it, because it feels super robotic. Like almost you may question whether they're doing it just to appease you. I don't know how to best other explain it. It's a bit like if you've been waiting for them to ask you to move in, let's say, to show a gesture that this is going in a direction, and you've been feeling a little bit glum because perhaps they've been doing their own thing, particularly with last month's energy of it being independent, and perhaps you have basically been just waiting, you know, for them to do something, and it doesn't seem to be happening, so you've been growing despondent. They seem to recognize this. Then in that second week they come up to you and they just sort of are like, should you move in? I think you should move in. Like stone-faced, no emotions, and you're like, this is what I want to hear, but you don't look like you're happy about this. I don't know what to make of that, because half would be true and half is not true. I think whoever you're with at this moment in time is having a real struggle around lifting their emotions to the surface. What they're feeling on the inside, they feel very difficult to vocalize this or show emotion around this. Even though it's what they want and they know it's the right thing to do, I don't know, there's this holding back, which is the whole point of why you were feeling despondent. This holding back, like you've got it, but it still feels like you want to be like, are you sure you want me to move in? Am I sure I want to move in with you, robotic woman or man? It's a little bit like that. I think, given the law of attraction, and I think given it is what you want, and the way I see the rest of the month, because it kind of swings both ways. If you focus too much on how they delivered it and whip that up, then you'll get more of that, and you could find you push them back into a corner where they could change their mind. And because it is this 50-50 thing, I want to say to you, if you want this, of course, is to embrace it, is to almost teach them emotion, to be counterbalancing their roboticness by being slightly over the top. Because what's been indicated by you embracing it and doing that is that they suddenly thaw, basically, and start to bubble and show the excitement around this, and start to reinsert themselves back into the connection and be more and more fluid and hard work and start to liven up a little bit. And I think that's how the law of attraction can sometimes work, because people think, oh, I just need to think positively. Yes, you do, or visualize, but actually that thinking, that energy comes out of you and how you interact with people. So when we worry and we're fearful or we're paranoid, it comes out in our behavior, and we start to then manifest it because we start to irritate that person or push them into a corner. Whereas if you start to trust this and it's what you want, and you start to live that in how you interact with that person and embrace it or give it more than what they're giving you, it leaks into them and they thaw and everything is fine. And you can end or embrace this month with it going basically a lot more better than you perhaps start it being. But it's only if you can do that a little bit. It's I'm not going to lie, Tauruses, there is a little swing both ways. And the only reason it doesn't apply is with the Tauruses that I spoke about in the beginning, where somebody comes back after a long time. That is gold dust. That is, take the opportunity because it's special, special, special. But other than that, for the rest of you Tauruses, it's a little bit like that. So I hope that's helped you a little bit to navigate this successfully, because I think this guidance is to help you get what you want, if you want it. So all your only job is to think about, do you want that? Do you want to thaw the Ice King or Queen? Because you most certainly can. And as awkward as their invite, whatever way that comes out is, it gets better. All right. So I do hope that that's been helpful for you guys today. I will be back next month with another love reading, and I'll see you then. Take care.